Hello guys and welcome. So in this video I wanted to answer the question, what is Baldur's Gate 3? This video is aimed at people who know nothing about Baldur's Gate 3 and have always been curious. So in the background I'm going to be showing some of the footage that was shown in the gameplay reveal that was broadcast during PAX East yesterday on the 27th of February 2020. And also, as well, I'm going to give my opinion and my thoughts about the game series. So, Baldur's Gate 3 is an upcoming RPG role playing game. It's being published by Larian Studios for Windows and Stadia. What they've said is that they're working as hard as they can to fix all of the bugs and all the development issues to a reasonable level and then get the game into early access. During early access, you're not going to have the entire game, you're going to have some of it, and then when the game is ready for full release, then they will release all the content. Baldur's Gate games are based on a version of Dungeons and Dragons, which is the tabletop board game. So there is, it's all turn-based, and there's certain situations where you roll a dice to decide your fate, let's say. So there isn't like a dungeon master or anything. It's a game. So you'll be running around the world and so on. You can see on the screen right now, there's going to be a choice of selecting many races. Now, they have said, because I did sit down and watch the entire gameplay reveal, they said that Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of a little bit detached from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. So the format it might be the same, but the story is unique, let's say. And what they were showing as well in the gameplay reveal is how the choices you make obviously matter and how you can get advantages when you're doing the turn-based combat against monsters and stuff like that. So initially looking at the graphics and looking at the gameplay style, it almost looks like Divinity Sin or like even Path of Exiles or something. It's got that sort of mode of graphics, but all the combat is turn-based. So, and you'll be able to as well like recruit people to work with you. So they have said, for example, that you could have a party of people with you, or potentially in the future you could have online co-op and stuff like that. Now, it was actually really funny watching the gameplay reveal because the director who was playing the game, he had a bunch of issues. Like when he was trying to do the first fight, like every single shot with his bow and arrow missed. Now, when it comes to combat, they've said that the success of abilities is determined by a percentage, so a fixed percentage rating. So, and there's different things you can do which will increase or decrease the percentage. So, like position, they're saying being uphill, for example, will give you an advantage, and things like that. And they were showing different gameplay elements. So it's not simply just a case of run around and have a turn-based battle against mobs and that's it. Like you might have different situations where you go through a room and it's full of traps and you have to make your way through the room. Going through traps of rooms and things like that, you can still use turn-based combat. So effectively, you moving through the room is one move, and the trap has its own move, and you might get a certain amount of damage. So the traps might be flames coming out the walls or things like that. And as you can see with the dialogue on the screen, like you have many choices. The choices you select do actually affect your relationship with the character that you're speaking to. So if you want them to be on your side and quickly, you need to actually be nice, let's say. So it will actually affect. And one other cool feature that they kind of showed was how the AI system works when it comes to the NPCs. So what you could do, for example, let's say you're sneaking in and you see some enemies who are asleep. You can then steal their weapons from them, or you can steal their gear, so that if they wake up and realize you're there, they can't do anything to fight back, except maybe fists or something. Versus, it's better to be punched than it is to be shot with a bow and arrow, let's say. So, but one thing that they did emphasize during the gameplay reveal is that they're going to be making it that if an NPC it finds himself, for example, without a weapon, then they can wake up and they can go and get a weapon that's close by. So, like, taking the gear out of their bags doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win automatically. And yeah, so what I'm going to do, guys, as per always, I'm going to link in the description as many useful resources as possible. The official website, Wikipedia, that gameplay reveal. I think the gameplay reveal will probably give you the most information for those who are fans of the series. Like, I personally haven't played Baldur's Gate before, so please watch through the gameplay reveal. It's more than an hour long, and they explain everything, and it's really just funny seeing how things are going wrong. And they did explain as well when it comes to the combat that initially when you're KO'd, you're in this kind of state where you can come back to life. You're not immediately defeated, so you do have a chance. So as you can see, when he's highlighting over and to do the different abilities, there's a percentage of chance of being able to successfully do the move, and it does make it clear when it's your turn and when it's the enemy turn and stuff like that. So, and if your team wipe, obviously it's game over, and you have to carry on from where you last saved. The unfortunate thing during the gameplay reveal is that the save feature wasn't actually working. So every time they actually failed, they did wipe during this. They had to restart the entire game. Now, what you can do as well during the combat, you can reposition yourself. So he did explain that repositioning yourself in a certain place, like for example uphill, can give you an increase to percentage, but also increase the amount of attacks you are able to do. So, and you can see very clearly that there is a limit to how far you can move away. And so, yeah, he was giving very good tips about how to succeed in the game. Now, the thing is, for me personally, like I do like the sort of, the sort of ARPGs. I like more action personally. So, in the space of the maybe hour of playing, they only did like 2 battles or maybe 3. You know what I mean? Whereas if you were playing ARPGs, you would have slaughtered through like 10,000 mobs or something in that time. But each to their own. Each person has their own different preference, their own different style of gameplay. I remember when I was at university, some people used to play actual Dungeons and Dragons, the tabletop game, and but I never took part. I just observed. So like you would have the dungeon master is a board game, and you have to roll the dice and so on. So as I said, the dice rolling is built into the game in certain situations, and like yeah. So that's it, guys. That's it. I don't want to go on and on and on about this. Like I said, I'm going to link as many useful resources as possible to this video, and but please tell me, like, should I get into Baldur's Gate? Like, is there anyone who is watching this video who's willing to explain the game to me, who is willing to explain why I should enjoy this game and so on? And also, as well, if you are a genuine fan of the series, what do you think of what you saw yesterday? Like, are you very happy with what you saw? Is it living up to your expectations? Is there something they could have done differently? Because the developers do watch videos like this, and I think with all game development, customer player feedback is critical to the success of the game. Not just success for them financially, but also just to make sure they produce a good game which is really fun for the masses, for the majority. So the thing is, though, with that is that there's always going to be people who don't like the game or don't like a certain aspect of the game. It's not true. It's not like a real reflection. It should be like this because of reason X, Y, Z. There's always going to be people like that. But as long as it's good for the masses and you guys do like what you're seeing so far, then no problems. Now, I personally feel that a game like this probably could eventually end up on console, but I guess we'll see. We'll see. I think for now they're going to focus more on Windows and Stadia. I want you guys to understand as well, for those who don't know anything about Google Stadia, it's just a streaming service, so it's basically still PC. All that Stadia is basically that you are playing the game on a Google server somewhere, and the server is rendering all the graphics and it's doing all the hard work. So what you do is you're basically paying a monthly fee, essentially, for a streaming service to stream the game at higher quality than having a killer PC in your house, because not everyone can afford, RTX 2080 Ti and blah 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 blah. Like there is limits to people's local hardware. So basically, for now, just Windows. That this game is going to come out on. They haven't actually said when. So there was a question asked yesterday during the gameplay reveal. When is it going to go into early access? They said they don't know yet. It's just a case of when they're happy and that they fixed a lot of the major bugs. Like, for example, at the moment, not even being able to save is kind of bad. So they are working on that. So guys, like I said, let me know, what do you think of this game? Do you like it? Are you anticipating it? Did you watch the gameplay reveal? Was it interesting to you? And what should I, as an outside observer to the series, look at in order to increase my understanding? I'm also going to, as well, for the sake of it, going to link to the Dungeons and Dragons Wikipedia for just a general overview of what Dungeons and Dragons is, if it will be useful for you guys as well. So yeah, anyway, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can watch a random video over there. You can watch the latest upload down there, or you can click down here to subscribe. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.